Welcome back to Trails in the Sky 3rd and starting on chapter 5. Yay! Oh gosh, that emotional
顔を上
whiplash I
げろ。
got from the last episode.
ケビン・グラハム。
Okay, so that's Ein's voice, so we're in the past again.
セルナート教官
Okay, definitely in the past. And Kevin, are you okay?
やつれたな。食事どころか水分の補給すらろくにしていないそうじゃないか。
Kevin's in a rough spot, I guess. Well, Kevin's in a rough spot now, but he's in a rough spot then. Oh wait, is this around the time about Rafina?
報告は聞いている。
Yeah.
ルフィナのことは残念だった。
Okay, so it's around the time of Rafina's death.
だが不幸な事故というものは往々にして起こるものだ。我々のような手合いには特にな。
殺してください。
何?
何？
もう俺が騎士としてやっていく意味、それどころか生きてる意味すらも。
Alright, well, I think he was closer to Rafina than just like somebody who just watched over him. And I'm going to believe that it was somebody that he cared very deeply about and loved very much, because if, let's say for example, if I was in that position where something happened to the person that I hold most dear, most precious, passed on, I'd be thinking almost the same sort of thing. It's like, it'd be really hard to move on after their passing. Yeah.
教官にやったら文句はないです。痛みを感じる暇もなく人思いにやってくれそうですし。
分かった。いいだろう。なんて言うとでも思ったか。痛みを感じる暇もなく人思いに殺してほしいだと。
I think what she was referring to are the rules that are in the Growler notebook, and I remember looking at them one point. I think it was the first rule or the first step. You're basically, as you become a Growler, you have essentially, you're giving your soul up to the goddess. And the second was you give your body and your blood to the church. And the third was the hunt down heretics. And the fourth, I can't quite remember.
笑わせるな。君にそんな権利があるとでも思っているのか。
Yeah, that was it.
その血と肉を必要の断りに、魂を女神に捧げたはずの君に。そんな泣き言が言えるくらいなら遠慮なく告げられるというものだ。
What information?
さすがの私も今回ばかりはいささかためらわれたからね。銃騎士ケビン・グラハム、本日をもって貴公ドミニオン第5位に迎える。
Oh my god, speaking of whiplash, it's like emotional whiplash. I'm feeling like the same sort of situation here too. It's just, we're just dealing with the loss of Rafina, or just finding out, or just trying to accept the death of Rafina. And oh, by the way, you're going to be assuming the position of the Fifth Dominion. Congratulations!
これは風星省による決定事項であり、法王芸家もすでに承認されたことだ。
Did you have the ability to reject, not necessarily reject, or choose not to accept the position? Now, we obviously know that he does become the Fifth Dominion. We do realize this. But what I'm wondering is, if you're offered a position as Dominion, do you have the ability to say, no, I don't want to go that path? Or would you just be forced to take it? Considering that she said the word, the job is yours, it leads me to believe that it's more along the lines of you can choose to accept it, or that's the impression I'm getting right now. Now, I could be completely wrong at this, but it's just the word selection leads me to believe that it's something he has a choice about.
君とてここ数十年、第5位が空位だったのは噂程度には知っているだろう。
I'm sort of surprised that the position's been vacant for that long, like several decades. Isn't that something they want to, make sure that it's consistently filled? Is there a reason why it's been vacant for so long?
おめでとう。君がその第5位だったわけだ。これで君と私は同格。長らく主のいなかった5号機もようやく日の目を見るというものだ。
なんやそれ。
ああ、それと守護騎士は自らあだ名を名乗る習いでね。君も今のうちに適当に考えておくといいだろう。
Right now it just feels like I'm just business, and I don't think Kevin's really in a position right now to just absorb all that. He's just still dealing pretty hard with what happened with Rafina and just trying to acknowledge it, absorb it, deal with his grief. Well, obviously we see as to how he's dealing with his grief. He's not eating or drinking, but like a crushed soul. But
ちなみに私のそれは知っての通りカーネリア。
yeah,
味もそっけもないものだがな。
we knew yours was Carnelia because we've read the book.
そんなこと聞いてるんやない。なんで俺がそんな姉さんを、ルフィナ姉さんを
Was
守れんかった俺が。
was Kevin on the mission that Rufina died on? Or the way that he's phrasing it, and I could be completely misreading this, is that he was on the same mission. Maybe he was her squire, and he just couldn't protect her from whatever killed her. Though the squires feel that they should be protecting their knights and everything.
それは特に問題ではない。問題はルフィナ・アルジェントが極めて優秀な騎士だったということだ。聖痕が現れなかったとはいえ、彼女の問題解決能力は時に守護騎士をも凌駕していた。その損失に見合うだけの働きを第5位には期待しておこう。
Oh wow, that's a slap in the face, because it seemed, well, we knew that Rufina was very capable, but saying that it's up to New Fifth Dominion, aka Kevin, to fill the void that Rufina left, and that's going to be very difficult to do, and that's a rather harsh statement considering she just died.
枢機卿閣下のお言葉だよ。
なんやそれ。なんやそれは。俺が
Kevin.
ルフ さんを守りたくて騎士になったこの俺が。
Alright, I do have to take a moment here just to address something in that I'm really glad that I played with these Japanese voices. And the main reason for feeling that is just the emotional impact that these voice actors have been able to bring to the actual story. Yes, reading the story and just trying to get how they're feeling through words is very great, but just having everything being vocalized, it's just hitting that much harder. And the work that these actors and actresses have done with bringing these characters to life and how they're presenting the characters, or even just in this section here with Kevin, just he's laughing, but at the same time you hear how much his heart is breaking. And he's so bitter, he's angry, he's frustrated, and just everything all rolled up into one. And just the way that and the voice is able to portray this, it's just making it that much more heart-wrenching of a scene. And I've seen it with various other other pieces of this game and past ones too. I would totally recommend, if somebody is going to be playing with this, just do it with the Japanese voices. And somebody that's here will be playing it soon or so, I think, because they've been asking me about it. But just trying to help them to get it set up with the English voices for them, so yeah, they can get that impact. It's just, I can't express in how many words as to how good this is, that and how heart-wrenching it is. And I'm like, in the past times I've been playing this, I've been crying and sniffling in the whole 9 yards. It's ugly, yes, I guess, in a sense, but oh gosh, I'm loving this so much.
その姉さんを食い物にして守護騎士に選ばれるやと。傑作や。傑作すぎて笑い死んでまうわ。
Oh, Kevin.
"さて、どうする、ケビン・グラハム。ちなみに君にはこの要請を辞退する権利がある。
Okay, so that answered one of my earlier questions. If they can refuse, apparently they can.
もっとも、騎士団1000年の歴史で守護騎士に選ばれながら辞退した者はただの一人もいないという話だがね。
そうでしょうな。ドミニオン第5位、謹んで拝命させてもらいます。
That, and just speaking of voices as to like what I just mentioned earlier, just hearing as to how this voice actor has gone from like the anger, frustration, rage, sadness, and everything else, like the performance they did not too long ago with all the crying and just the comments, to now where it just feels like he's just trying to shut off his emotion, his heart, and everything else, and just feel himself up.
早速今日からでも仕事を回してくれて結構ですわ。
Yeah.
そうか。わかった。そう取り計らおう。
なあ、回すんならなるべくハードなのを頼みます。おっと、それからあだ名でしたっけ？
Well, earlier it was mentioned the title of Heretic Hunter, if I recall correctly. I think that's his title that he chose.
せや。
Oh, sorry.
下法狩り。
Yeah.
そんな感じでいくとしますわ。
Oh gosh. Chapter 5, Labyrinth of Shadows and Light.
そっか、そんなことがあったんだ。
Okay, couple of things here. First of all, you'll notice that the old pictures are being used. And I did switch them back actually to this ones because it seems like they added a lot more emotional impact, or there seems like it's showing a little bit more impact compared to the Evo portraits. That being said, I do have the Evo games on my Vita as well, which I'm starting to I'm trying to play them slowly but surely. I'm only on the first game. So if I do have a hankering to see that, then I can do it there. Secondly, I'm feeling so emotionally drained right now. I hope that I can do something that's a little bit more heartwarming, so then that way I can stop feeling like such a wreck.
しかしまあ、聞けば聞くほど信じられないことばかりって感じね。
うん。ただ、見えてきたことも結構あると思うんだ。この場所が影の国という不思議な法則によって構成された世界であるということ。そして僕たちが何らかの理由で選ばれて取り込まれたということ。
そしてそれを踏まえた上で改めて疑問が整理できると言える。疑問その1、影の王及び黒騎士の正体は？
Well, I think we already know who the Schwarzerder is. At least I think I do. It's gotta be Kloe, but the only reason why I'm thinking that is because of the portrait. So like what we've seen of the bottom portion of his face, and from his voice, it's gotta be him. How the heck it's him, I don't know, considering he's dead. So it just brings a lot, this just opens up a lot more on the next person of interest, which is Lord of Phantasma. With Lord of Phantasma, he's got to be somebody related to the church. Considering that is like all the bits about the 77 demons or devils for the different bosses we've been seeing, the different things they already know. Heck, it seems like the intimate knowledge that they know of Kevin. There's a couple of ideas that are swirling around my head, although granted, I think some of them are a little bit stupid. One of them is that it's an alternate path vision aspect of Kevin, and just giving him an opportunity, I suppose, to choose a different path, a different walk of life, a different like scenario compared to the one they dealt with. It seems like they just know him very, very intimately. The other thought that's swirling around my head as well, considering that, well, we know the Schwarzerder is who he is, and that opens up like people who are dead. Is it Rufina? I don't think it is, but it's something that just popped in my head. It's like, no, it can't be. At one point I thought, well, maybe it's Weissman, but I don't think it's him. Yes, he's a jerk. Yes, he's an asshole, but it doesn't feel like him.
疑問その2、宝石及び女性の霊の正体は？
Well, with that, I think we've already figured out. That's Celeste. It's Celeste. Because just the way that her artwork portrays it, the little, not so chair, but the band around her head was similar to what Alicia's is. So that was a queen, and her Chloe's distant ancestor. And with the cube, that's already from Liberal Arc. Everybody's connected to Liberal Arc in some way, except for Reese.
疑問その3、影の国の成り立ちと真相は？
And that's the last thing, Phantasma. I have no idea what the hell is it. Is it Gehenna? I don't think that it's Gehenna or hell, but like an alter space and alter reality. Well, it could be Gehenna, because I'm sure that Leve didn't necessarily go to be with Adios. Oh, it's just I haven't really solidified that much about what Phantasma is.
確かに。
But at the same time, thinking about it a little bit more, there's a whole bit about the doors. And doors seem to be doing multiple things. Like, well, I grant you, like, you're opening these doors, so I grant you, like, little boons and fragments and memories and stuff like that. Is it it almost feels like it's granting wishes or desires of some sort.
疑問はつきませんが、大別するとその3つに整理できそうな気がしますね。
ありえない魔物が徘徊している理由なんかは3番目に入るってことか。
なるほど。そう言われると色々と見えてきたかも。あれ、でもケビンさんが気絶したことはどう関係してくるのかな？
Does that fall into like path 1 in a sense? Because he's sort of related to like what's going on with Lord of Phantasma?
聞いた限りだと巨大な悪魔とやり合った時のことが原因みたいな気がするけど。
Well, he was fighting a giant devil, like one of the 77 devils. But the thing is, though, in order to battle that devil, the person who's taking on before was Reese, and the main reason why Reese is doing it is because we were trapped by that bubble thing, like that evil eye sort of attack that Wiseman does. But Kevin managed to break through of it with using that special power that he had.
俺たちを拘束していたあの結界を破った力。
Yeah.
そしてその時に現れた赤い文様みたいな光か。
And that's the thing with that red thing on his back, and based off of what the chapter was called, was that a stigma? Well, Joshua also had a stigma, but his was different. His was like, it appeared on his arm, allowed him to do all sorts of really cool things. Well, granted, Kevin's allows him to do like Spiraloa, is that what it's called? And it seems like he was like super powered, I guess, at that point.
あれ、何だったんでしょうね。
さすがにそれは僕にも見当がつかないね。
Again, I'd be thinking that what Kevin did was a stigma. It's different than Joshua's, but I think it's a stigma all the same, like a more powerful one.
七曜教会に伝わっている法術あたりかもしれないが。
You know something, or you're thinking something.
ヨシュは何か心当たりでもあるの？
そうだね。確信は持てないけど、あれは多分スティグマだと思う。
Now that brings to mind another thought here, because in the previous game, there was the stigma that Joshua had, but before they went too far into the arc, Joshua asked Kevin to help him, but that's only because Dad mentioned to Joshua to seek Kevin's help because Kevin might be able to help him. How did Dad know that Kevin could help him? Did Dad know that Kevin was a Dominion and had a stigma and knew how to deal with it? Or did he just think that Kevin would be able to help him because he's part of the church and the church knows about stigmas and all these other things? Oh, my mind's going all over the place.
それってヨシュアの肩に出ていた。
Yeah, but Joshua's stigma is different. It appeared down his arm. It didn't seem as powerful as Kevin's. The person who put the stigma on Joshua was Wiseman. Wiseman came from the church. So Wiseman knew stuff about stigmas. Well, that sort of makes sense because he's part of the church. Well, maybe not all the people from the church know about that. Let me just go with the assumption that Wiseman knew about the stigmas. He eventually left the church to go to Ouroboros. I guess took that information with him, then tried to recreate the stigma and put it onto Joshua. Oh gosh.
あれは教授が僕を制御するために深層意識に埋め込んだイメージが肉体に現れていたものだったんだ。
Yeah, well, yeah, Wiseman's the stigma that Wiseman put onto him, yeah, was different than the one that Kevin had. It doesn't seem to be as powerful. But two, yeah, it had a control factor, and I don't think Kevin's does, or I haven't seen anything to indicate that it does have, that there's a control mechanism or facet or whatever.
ケビンさんのあれも同じ。
Mm-hmm.
ただし僕に刻まれたものよりもはるかに
yeah.
強力なものじゃないかと思う。
It was red, it was glowy. Yours was not.
よく気づきましたね。
Because one, if it's glowy, then it's gotta be super duper powerful. Reese.
リースさん、
そのケビンさんの調子はどう？
He's still out like a light.
ええ、小康状態といったところです。ただし精神に過度の負荷がかかったようなので、しばらく休ませておきます。
So if you use the stigma, that's the price you pay. So it's a burden on the mind and cause them to knock it out. Now, is that for all the Dominions who use the stigma, or does it affect everybody differently? Or does it do more than just an effect on the mind? Does it have other adverse effects?
そっか。
やれやれ、ヒヤヒヤさせてくれるわね。
しかしリースさん、精神に負荷ということはやはり。
ええ、お察しの通り精魂です。ただしあなたに刻まれていたものと違い、彼のそれは原型と言えるもの。
Okay, that makes sense. That basically goes along with what I was thinking. Okay.
ドミニオンにのみ現れると言われる魂の刻印です。守護騎士？
聞いたことがある。
So they're not very well known. Or maybe it's like a secret group within the church.
聖杯騎士団を統率する12名の特別な騎士たち。噂では一人一人が恐るべき異能を持つという。
ええ、その通りです。そしてその異能とは各々の精魂の力によるもの。通常では考えられないような肉体の強化や高度な砲術の使用を可能にしてくれる力の源泉です。
Similar to what Joshua's stigma does for him, it just gives like these superpowers. But again, in Joshua's case, he's controlled.
ケビンはその精魂を持つ12名の守護騎士の一人、第5位の異界を持つ人間です。なんだか別の人の話を聞いてるみたいですね。
Yeah, it definitely does not show that he's some super high and mighty person from the church. And I think that's probably to the effect that they don't want everybody to know if a person is a Dominion or not, because it sounds like a super secret organization. The other thought that just came to mind is, Reese, is it okay for you to tell us all this? Like, are we going to get in trouble and, for example, have our memories wiped because you told us all this information we're not supposed to know? Or are you going to get in really big trouble too for relaying all this?
それではケビンさんもヨシュアさんと同じように何らかの処置を受けて。いえ、本来の精魂は意図して埋め込まれるといったものではありません。
The thing is, though, for Joshua's, it was carved into his soul. Oh my gosh, that must have been painful. Now, if it appeared on Kevin without any human intervention, oh gosh, it's just painful.
あくまで自然発生的に現れるものだとされています。そして守護騎士の数は歴史を通じて常に12名。
Oh. Okay, so that's the reason why the Fifth Dominion's position was left absent for so long, because the stigma bearer had not appeared yet.
どの時代にも必ず精魂を宿す者がどこかに現れて守護騎士になると言われています。なんだか不思議な話ね。それじゃあヨシアにあった精魂っていうのは？
あれは多分本来の精魂を疑似的に再現したものじゃないかと思う。
But still pretty powerful all the same.
かつてワイスマンは七王教会の人間だったからね。
That's what I sort of figured.
そんなこと言ってたわね。配信者ワイスマンは 聖杯騎士団の上位にある風星省に所属する司教でした。
Okay, various other pieces are falling into place.
彼は司教職にある時から
Uh-huh.
見喰らう蛇に通じており、さまざまな秘跡を盗み出したようです。
Stealing numerous sacraments for the church. So, what other things did he steal?
守護騎士の成婚に関する膨大な文献と研究もその一つ。
Literature and research on stigma. And he gave that over to Ouroboros. He and Ouroboros, like, learned more about stigmas and how to, I guess, create them. Used it to create Joshua, or, like, brand it onto Joshua.
彼はそれらを参考に、意図的に超人を作り出す技術を結社で完成させたと推測されています。
やはりそうでしたか。
本来の聖婚がどういうものであるのかはなんとなく分かったが、しかしどうしてケビン神父はそれで倒れることになったのかな。
Well, there's got to be some sort of price to pay for using such power, because if they could use it all willy-nilly without any consequences, that'd be ridiculous.
聖婚というものはその力を引き出すにあたってそこまでのリスクを伴うのかい？
それは理由は分かりませんが、ケビンは聖婚の力をめったには解放しないそうです。
Now, is it because of the price he has to pay and just all the effect on his mental and physical well-being? It's because of it does that much to him, he doesn't necessarily use it? Or is it in a position that he only... the way that when they were fighting, when they were caught in that bubble and everything else, and how Kevin was talking, it sounds like he felt, okay, I don't want to rely on this, but I'll have to pull out my trump card and use this power. So it seems like it's something he only has to use when absolutely necessary and not try to use it willy-nilly. Now, I don't know if it's because of he knows in the back of the mind as to what will happen should he use it, or is there another caveat or situation that I just don't know of yet that is a detractor from using said power.
唯一それを解放するのは下法を狩る時のみ。
Wait, so he used it just now, and using those who brand heretics. Did he use that? No, he didn't use that when he fought Wiseman. He branded Wiseman a heretic, or rather, he was already branded a heretic, and so he's chasing after him. I don't recall. He didn't pull out that superpower though. When fighting Wiseman, he just used the crossbow bolt that had that one like arrowhead that was the pillar of salt. He didn't use it then.
後戻りできない滞在人を処分する時だけと聞いています。
処分なんか物騒な話だね。
ま、そいつはともかく、要するにめったに使わない力をいきなり使ったせいで目を回しちまったってとこか。
そうなのかもしれません。
Now again, is it there's more of a price to pay if he uses it or not? Like basically if he uses it, then he's going to have more blackouts and he just didn't want to black out, or is there more than just that happens to him?
なるほど。ケビン殿の事情は了解した。しかし、いいのか、我々に話してしまっても。
Yeah, that's the question.
はい。すでにケビンも皆さんには一通り説明するつもりだった様子。私も今後の探索を進める上で皆さんの協力を得るために必要なことであると判断しました。
そっか。もしかしてリースさん。
はい。しばらくの間は私がケビンの代わりを務めます。
Well, he did give her the cue. So we do have the ability to use that to proceed onward, but That just means I have to re-equip Reese and do the ordnance for her and just remove everything off Kevin. Oh, that's gonna be a bit of a pain, but I guess switching things up a bit.
探索の記録も含め皆さんの先導を務めさせていただければ幸いです。
なるほどな。
でもいいんですか？
Well, I can understand that she'd potentially want to stay here to take care of Kevin.
リースさん、ケビンさんのこと本当は看病していたいんじゃ。
But at the same time, if she stays back to take care of Kevin, we can't use the cube because I don't think that the cube can be used by anybody else save for Reese or by Kevin. Now, I don't think I think it's just that only those two can use it. So if it was a position where Reese stayed here, then we can't proceed onward with the story. We wouldn't be able to get to any of the doors. We'd be stuck until such time that Kevin woke up and he takes the cube back, or Reese feels, okay, he's awake now, he can get better, and we can move on.
倒れる前、ケビンは私に宝石を託しました。ならばこれも重騎士の務め。どうか気にせず、皆さんに協力させてください。
リースさん。
そういうことならあえて反対する理由はあるまい。
ケビンさんのことならどうか心配しないでください。
Everybody will take turns.
残ったメンバーで分担してみることにすれば大丈夫です。はい。どうかよろしくお願いします。
What are you thinking about, Estelle?
エステル、どうしたの？
リースさん、一つお願いがあるんだけど、探索に向かうんだったら、私も同行させてくれないかな？
Well, do you know what? Honestly, that's a good idea because she's probably been a little bit stiff after being in the sealing stone for so long. I know that for myself, it's just really hard to sit still for long periods of time. I just want to move. But at least this gives us a chance to have Estelle in our party. And I'll bring Joshua along. I just need to figure out who's going to be my fourth.
エステル。
ほら、目を覚ましたばかりだから、いろいろと肌で知っておきたくて。一応これでも遊撃士だから、いろいろとお手伝いもできると思うし。どうかな？
Not the slightest.
わかりました。どうかよろしくお願いします。
Yay!
どうもありがとう。よしや、勝手に決めちゃってごめんね。
いや。
Oh, they're gonna be together to the end.
君の判断に任せるよ。リースさんのサポートよろしくね。
任せといて。
All right, before we get too far, I need to put people in my party.
行くよ。
We are going to have Joshua and I'm going to put Kloe in my party and I'll explain the reason why. Let me just do this first. And there we go. So we got these four in the party. And there's a reason why I want to have Reese in my party. So, well, not Reese, but Kloe in my party. The reason why is because not too long ago I got the entrance exam results, and off stream, whatever you want to call it, I was still trying to rack my brain about this particular piece. Why was I given it? And then I thought of the description of this particular item. It's a letter to Kloe Rince informing her that she has passed the Genis Royal Academy entrance examination. And after mulling that over a bit more, I think that it's for door number 3 because it says proof for scholarship, which means, like, at least for me, exam results. And so, Darling of Pure White Radiance, I guess that could be Kloe. So yeah, I think hers is moon door number 3. But before I get that far, let me go ahead and get our dear friend Reese re-equipped because she doesn't have the right gear on, and I need to redo all her ornaments and take all the stuff at least off Kevin for now. So yeah, I'll get back in a bit. Alrighty, so got that all done. Let's go do a door. So door number 3. And we'll see if I was correct. And the door will open.
汝、純白の輝きを姫し娘、学徒たる証を携え、我が元に引き連れよ。さすれば扉を開かん。
Lucky says, alright! Let's open the door. And see what's inside. Now, considering as to what the papers were, this is definitely going to be the past, for, like it's a memory. So Chloe's past. Obviously, in association with Academy, I think.
ここに記憶のかけらと祝福を与えん。
What memory shall we have? Spring came, but it took far more time doing so than the average year. Yay! Janice Royal Academy. Oh, are we going to have like a high school slice of life sort of episode? One by one, the magnolia flowers began to show their faces to the world as if reluctant to let their long slumber end. And with the changing of the seasons, a brand new student of the infamous Janice Royal Academy set foot into its grounds, slightly later than her peers.
ここがジェニス王立学園。
You can do it, Kloe. You can do it.
よし。
Okay, I'm hoping this will brighten my mood compared to the emotional, depressing roller coaster I was on. Huh? Boy resting on roof. With very bright red hair. Oh my gosh, your red hair could give Agate a run for his money. Even Adol, for that matter.
あれが噂の編入生ね。
How did you know that she's the famous transfer student?
タカ？いや、ハヤブサか。
Oh, Sieg. Gotta be Sieg.
あの時、もう誰にも頼らないと誓った。
Okay, so more like internal monologue for Kloe. So I guess I'm hoping for this episode we find a little bit more about her, just her thoughts, her feelings, her motivations, because we don't really see a heck of a lot of that with her. We get little snippets, but I'm hoping a little bit more fleshing out.
縛られて生きるのが嫌で、流されて生きるのが嫌で、私は自分の足で歩いていく。胸に秘めた静かな決意。それが単なる言い訳に過ぎないことも、心のどこかで気づいていた。
Social Studies Classroom First Year Joint Class. A joint class, what does that mean exactly?
はいはいみんな、こっち注目。こちらは編入生のクローゼリンツさんです。コースは、社会科ね。うん、私の受け持ちだわ。
This strikes me as a little odd because shouldn't teachers be reading up on the students who are going to be transferring to their class just to get a better understanding as to their backgrounds, what they're going to be studying, any little odds and ends that'd be important, etc. It sounds like this lady didn't do any of that.
じゃあクローゼさん、ご挨拶してください。はい。 1年に編入となったクローゼリンツです。この素晴らしい学園での生活を長い間楽しみにしておりました。今日皆さんの一員となれてとても光栄に思います。
Oh my gosh, this is super formal.
私はとんだ未熟者で皆さんにご迷惑をおかけしてしまうかもしれませんが、
Okay, not super formal, but super polite.
精一杯頑張りますのでどうかよろしくお願いします。突然の編入生か。いいところの子かな。ちょっと硬い感じもするけど。
1年の5月に編入ね。ちょっと。
あ、質問いいですか？クローゼさん出身はリベールの人？はい、グランセル地方の出身です。ご趣味などはお持ちですか？特にありません。本当ですか？つまんないな。でもやっぱり特に趣味とかは強いて言えばお菓子作りでしょうか。
Well, why don't you just say that then?
でも人に言えるほどのものじゃないし。
Oh.
編入試験ってすごく難しいんだろ？よく受かったよな。
あの入試より難しいのか？
Oh, Mickey, I remember you.
ありえねえ。優秀なんだな。
Okay, yeah, I also remember you because your name was just so weird to me. I mean, naming your kid Logic. That's certainly different.
はいみんな。質問は授業が終わってからにして。クローゼさん、適当な席に座ってね。
Well, there's only one seat left.
はい。じゃあ授業始めるわよ。教科書の23ページを開いて。謎の編入生。なんだか気になるわね。
2 weeks passed at the academy. Despite the passing of time, the students' interest in the transfer student showed no sign of letting up, and she soon was the talk of the whole school. All anyone wanted to talk about was her, how smart she was, how unusually polite she was, among other things. Her peers thought the formalities were largely due to nerves and that she would naturally ease up over time, but the reality was somewhat different.
はあ、やっと終わったよ。
Where's Ricky?
今日も有意義な一日だったな。
Where's that
モ
Ricky
ニカ
there?
練習始めるよ。
Oh gosh, no. Not Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. Doki Doki is still seared in my brain. Oh, hi Teach.
あらら、みんなもう帰っちゃったの？
Yeah, people usually leave when classes are over.
このプリント配ろうと思ってたのに。先生お困りなのでしょうか？よし。ビオラ先生、何かお困りでしょうか？私でよければお手伝いしますけれど。でも。そうね。じゃあ頼んじゃおうかしら。はい。
Miss Viola handed a pile of printouts to Kloe.
悪いけどこのプリントを社会科のみんなに配っておいてほしいの。結構大切なプリントだから配り忘れがないようにお願いね。
Oh, okay, sure.
はい、わかりました。
Well, this gave me a perfect opportunity to meet with the rest of the students in my classroom.
急がないと職員会議が始まっちゃう。このプリントって社会科コースの年間単位表。これはきちんと配らないと。とりあえずまだ教室に残っている人たちに配って、あとはクラブ活動に向かった人と寮に帰ってしまった人ですね。
Okay, that's a good plan of action.
よし。
Alright. Oh, can I move? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, oh, there. Alright.
まあそれでは共和国にはそのようなものが。
ええ、何しろ国土が広大ですからね。
Republic. Calvert, I think? Yeah.
それに合わせた交通手段が。いや、クローゼさん。どうかしましたか？
はい、ウィオラ先生からプリント預かっていまして。
Chloe gave Roy and Thelma a copy of the printout each.
まあ社会科コースの単位表ですね。ご親切にありがとうございます、クローゼさん。
いえ、とんでもありません。
Oops, pressing a little bit too early.
こちらこそお話のお邪魔をして申し訳ありませんでした。私はこれで失礼させていただきます。
She's still so polite.
はい。
And that's causing them to have difficulty dealing with her. Okay, so
ク
6
ロー
more
ゼ
to
さんっ
go.
て礼儀正しい方なのですね。
Yeah, it's probably unnerving the rest of them.
ええ、そうですね。あそこまで丁寧に言われると少し緊張してしまいますよ。
That's what I was sort of figuring that was going to happen. So 6 more to go. Okay, nothing that way. Oh, people. Excuse me. You aren't a social studies student, are you? Sorry, but no, I'm a natural studies student. Natural sciences student, actually. Oh. Oops. I see. Sorry for troubling you then. Okay, so that's not who I need to speak to. Okay, well, that's the faculty, and that's Dean Collins. So let's go into the clubhouse. Oh. Jill and Hans, and who are those two other people?
あのダメ人間め、一体どこに隠れてんのよ。
Who are you talking about?
これだけ探しても見つからないなんてな。ルーシー先輩、俺もう限界っすよ。
I think somebody has some hots for Lucy based on how he's blushing.
おーい、そこだれるんじゃない。ハンス、あんた実はサボってたんじゃないでしょうね。
Oh, come on. Why are you blaming Hans? Hans a good guy.
いや、マジで真剣に探したって。目撃情報は山ほどあるのに、どうして見つからないんだ？
Okay, so they're looking for somebody that's very good at hiding. Now, the Jill and Hans that I know in the current time, they are student council president and vice president, I think. This is before, so I guess they're junior members of the student council. So I'm going to hazard a guess that those two I'm looking at right now are the current president and vice president.
やっぱり 今日中に捕獲するのは難しそうね。
Lucy and Leo. Okay.
レオくん、どうしましょう。
仕方がない。
Hmm.
生徒会の仕事は俺とルーシーで進めておく。
Okay, so I can take this to mean one of two things. Either A, one of them is the student council president, the other person is a different person, let's say secretary or something. Or they're both below and the person looking for is the actual student council president. Because they're saying, well, the two of them can handle majority of the work. So it sounds like they're not the leader. So yeah, they're not the president themselves, but vice president, like a secretary or something.
だが最終決戦には奴が必要だ。
Yeah.
お前たちは早急に探し出せ。
Okay, that's solidified. So if they're saying that they need his approval, then the person looking for is the student council president. Wait, why can't they find the student council president? Aren't they supposed to be, you know, responsible and hardworking and all that jazz?
はい。
二人ともまた後でね。
はい。
Oh yeah, he's really smitten for Lucy.
じゃあ捜索再開といきますか。
はあ、気が重いな。
And there's Kloe.
お、クローゼ。
Mm-hmm.
どうしたの？そんなにプリントなんか持って。
Well, I'm handing stuff out, and I should be giving you guys your stuff.
これは少しビオラ先生のお手伝いをさせていただいていて。
それで放課後に配って回ってるのか？ふん、俺なら断っちまうけどな。
クローゼ。なんだったら私たちも手伝おっか。
Well, I'm sure that'd be very much appreciated, but knowing Kloe the way that I do, I think she's probably gonna say no, let me try to do it myself.
ちょうどこれからあちこち回る用事があるし。
Oh, that'd be nice, again, because they figure, hey, I'm gonna help because we're already looking around for, was it the student council president? At least that's what I'm thinking. So this is just a little add-on to what they're already doing. But again, I still believe that she's going to say, oh, no, it's okay. I'm going to do it. The teacher gave me those jobs, so I'll take care of it.
いえ、これは私の仕事ですから。
That's I figured.
ジルさん、ハンス君、それでは失礼します。
And so very, very polite.
あのさ、彼女と同室になったのよね。
Oh.
寮の部屋。
Considering the way that she just talked to both of them, I'm going to assume that she still speaks that politely to Jill when they're alone in their dorm room.
ああ、なんだそうだったのか。編入生クローゼリンツ。蝶がつく天才だって有名だよな。いいじゃないか。毎日勉強教えてもらえるぞ。
でもさ、なんて言ったらいいか。
Again, I just don't think those two are very close, though.
上品だし、すごく礼儀正しいんだけど。
Yeah, but again, it's just she just stays all pleasant, polite, and not getting very chummy.
どこかよそよそしいのよね。
Yeah.
まあちょっと肩肘張ってる感はあるよな。でも同室なら会話くらいあるだろ
う。いや、私とも挨拶くらいしかしないのよね。もうちょっと普通におしゃべりとかできたらいいんだけどな。
Well, I'm sure Jill's trying her best, but at the same time, it feels that Kloe still has a lot of her barriers up and just doesn't want to let anybody in. Because, again, I don't know if it's necessarily because she doesn't want anybody to discover who she is, which probably is that fear. But based on what was mentioned before, what she was thinking before, it sounds like she just wants to be self-sufficient and everything. So I guess she feels that in order to reach that goal of hers, she has to keep everybody at arm's length. Let's see. Oh, what's this sign say? Currently changing.
今は入れないみたいですね。
Yeah.
後でまた来ましょう。
Alright, so, and I don't need to go into the Toon Council room because no need for that. So, where do... Oh! Hi, Jill. Yeah, the dorms. Oh, that's logic, isn't it?
君はクローゼリンツ君、僕に何用かな？
いえ、先生からプリントを預かってまして。
Kloe handed Logic a printout.
これは年間の単位表。これは
What's wrong?
1年の間は共通授業の比重が大きいのか。
Again, I just don't see as to what exactly joint classes are and why they'd be worth a lot.
体育で5単位。
Well, they want you to keep on exercising, you know. Make sure that you keep on moving.
ありえん。
邪魔をしてはいけませんね。では、これで失礼します。
待ちたまえ。いや。
Well, don't say hey and then say, no, it's okay.
このプリントによれば、定期試験は6週間後のようだ。君もみっちり勉強しておきたまえ。油断していて足を滑らせたなどという言い訳は通用しないぞ。
Oh, thanks for the encouragement, senpai.
はい。精一杯頑張らせていただきます。
Alrighty, what we'll do is we'll go to the other areas to see who we can find. Alright, let's see who's in the girls' dormitory. Here? No, that's empty. Here? No, that's also empty. Come on, there's gotta be somebody here, right? No. Well, last room. Hey, found somebody! Oh, she's not in my class. Lucy sure is gorgeous, isn't she? She's here as an exchange student from the Principality of Remipheria to the north. I wonder if all the girls there are as pretty. I sure wish I was. Oh, come on, kid, you're cute. Come on, look at the green hair, the ribbons. You're stylish. Okay, so much for the idea. Well, auditorium's next. Wait, I saw somebody outside. Who are you? Mickey! You're that new student, right? What do you want? I'm not really in the mood to talk. Okay. You don't look like you're in my class. Oh. Who are you guys?
Monica?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not Monica. I'm not mean like Monica.
遅いぞ!
Again, I'm not Monica.
ごめんなさい。間違えました。いや、間違えたのはこっちだけど。あ、そうですね。ごめんなさい。だから間違えたのはこっちだって。
You're not stop being so formal.
はい、二人ともストップストップ。ごめんなクローゼさん、うちの部長気が利かなくてさ。で、なんか用事？俺たちこの後ミーティングでさ。
そうだったんですか。確かクララ先輩は社会科コースでしたよね。
So let's pull out the piece of paper and give it to her.
でもやっぱり今はお邪魔でしょうか。
Well, when are you gonna wait?
ミーティングの後にもう一度来てみようかな。
Oh, come on, just perk up. Let's try to get to it.
あ、わかった。クラブ見学だ。
Which club is this?
よし、新入部員ゲットね。
クララ先輩、短絡的すぎっす。
Yeah, please don't make assumptions.
なあ、この人のことは気にしないで。でさ、用事があんなら早めにお願いしたいんだけど。
Okay, before she gets any more assumptions, can we just give her the piece of paper and go?
ではこれを。
Chloe handed Clara the printout.
なんだ、単位表じゃん。もったいぶるから期待してたのに。がっかり。すみません。ではこれでおいとまさせていただきます。あ、うん。
Okay, well, we've been all polite. Let's get going, and they're gonna call us weird or something.
なんか変わった子ね。
Yeah, here we go.
1年の編入生っすよ。ほら、噂になってる。
はあ、あの子が。
Yeah.
ついでだから見学していけばいいのにさ。
Well, there's that. Oh, are you a student in the classroom? I don't think so, but I'll ask anyway. Oh, I recognize you. You're that new first-year student, Kloe, correct? Yes, I am. I'm Regal, a third-year humanities student. I also serve as captain of the fencing club. If you're at all interested in what we do, you'd be welcome to stay and watch us practice. I wish I could, but I'm afraid I'm a little too busy at the moment. Thank you for your offer, though. Just thought of joining reminds me of my training sessions with Yulia. Yeah. Oh gosh, she could probably whip the pants off those guys. Went to everywhere. Now, there was that one room though that said there was a girl that there's currently changing. So let me just go back in there. See if it's there. Oh, huh? Currently changing.
今は入れないみたいですね。
Okay.
後でまた来ましょう。
All right, so I can't go in there just yet. I guess there's something else I need to do. Where else have I gone? Oh, yeah. That place up. Okay, yeah, this old schoolhouse. Let's go play the ghosts. Who's this?
ねえ、リックス。
It's haunted Ricky!
僕たちはどうしてここにいるん
We're
だろう
looking for
ね。
love. Because wasn't that the old... That was the whole story from the past two earlier games. That at least one of them was looking for love. And one of them had their eyes set... Is Anton, he had his eyes set on Aina, right? Well, obviously that would have ended in failure. That did, because, well, they tried to drink Aina under the table and that didn't work.
もう春が来たよ。なのに僕の心はまだ冬ごもり。
Oh, geez, he's still talking poetic.
はあ。どうしてこう何もかもがうまくいかないのかな。
すみません。
あれ、君って。
Yeah, we're in the same class together.
確か
Can't see that.
1年の編入生だよね。
Mm-hmm.
はあ、いいよな。君みたいに頭のいい人は。
Study hard, and you'll get there.
これウィオラ先生からお渡しするように言われまして。
Kloe handed Anton a printout.
僕さ、また留年しちゃったんだよね。
What happened?
もう一度3年生をやるなんて。はあ、最悪だよ。
How the hell could you fail that bad? What were you doing?
僕も1年生の頃は希望で満ち溢れていたのに。
Yeah, repeating a year. So again, what the heck happened?
なんて慰めたらいいんでしょうか。
Well, don't worry, Kloe. I don't have no answers for you either. Alright. Is that Ricky? Yes, it is. Hey there, you look like you're in a hurry. Oh, you're looking for the social studies students? Well, there's one standing right here. Anton. Personally, I think you made a major mistake picking that course in the first place, though. He's not built for all that work. Yeah, he's looking for love in all the wrong spaces and places. He just doesn't do well. Now, can I go into that room now, or is there something else perhaps I'm missing? Let's see. Oh, I can go in now. Yay! Are you a student? Oh, yes, you are.
どこ行ったかな。
Oh gosh, I'm talking to Monica. I'm gonna be deleted.
あったあった。
She's looking through the source code and making adjustments to make me disappear.
編入生のクローゼさんだっけ。
Mm-hmm. Please don't kill me.
何か用事。
Here's your piece of paper.
はい。ウィオラ先生からプリントを預かっていまして。
Kloe handed Monica a printout.
単位表か。授業がこんなにある。2年生にもなるときついな。でもこれって別に急ぐ話じゃないよね。
Well, it's an act of being nice, you know?
そうなんですか？ウィオラ先生って去年も私忘れてたよ。
What? Oh gosh, what did I get roped into?
確かずいぶん後になってもらったんだ。
That's not good.
先生美人だけどちょっと抜けてるとこがあるから。
Oh, so she's forgetful? I guess that's what you're trying to say?
クローゼさんも気をつけなよ。ちょっと頑張り屋さんすぎるからいいように使われちゃうよ。
Oh, Clara.
モニカ、こんなとこにいた。もうミーティングが始めらんないじゃん。はーい、今行きます。じゃあね、クローゼさん、プリントありがとう。はい。でも私はしっかりやらないと。
Yep. But I still wish that you'd just drop some more politeness and just really let people in. And, you know, open up a little bit more. Just overall.
私はただ何かに必死にしがみついていたかっただけなのかもしれない。誰にも頼らない私の触れ得るものは少なく、何も見えない私が受け入れるものはなかった。
Gotta come out of your shell a little bit more.
だからこそ私は自分はやらなければならないのだと念じ続けた。取り残されないように、置き去りにされないように、私が私を見失わないように。
Oh gosh, and spent the whole day looking for people. Now it's the end of the day. Huh? What's wrong?
私のプリントがない。
But wait, there was one in the classroom. Near the front of the classroom, left-hand side, closest to the window, there's a piece of paper there. That's probably her piece, right?
教室に忘れてきたのかな。
Mm-hmm. You left it there.
きっとそうだ。取りに戻らないと。
Let's rush. Let's rush. Let's rush. Yep, there we go.
私、こんなので大丈夫なのかな。
Yep, you can. It's okay. It'll be okay.
でさ、さっき編入生の子が来たんだけど。
Oh, no, 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 no. Let's not start the rumor mill and being really petty and rude.
ああ、あの天才とか言う？それがさ。でね。
早く帰って授業の復習をしないと。
It's okay, Kloe. It's okay.
習得単位の確認もしないといけませんよね。
Yeah, it's no fun being talked about behind your back. Never fun. Uh,
少し疲れちゃったな。
Oh, you.
よう、編入生くん。
Yeah, you're the guy that I saw earlier that was, you know, getting some sun.
生徒会長の。
Wait. You're the student council president? You're the one that Hans and Jill were looking for.
レクターだ。
Lecter.
おう、今日は夕焼けが綺麗だな。
Okay, Lecter has a really big head of red hair.
はい。
Now, I'm trying to remember if we've run into Lecter before. I don't think we have, but considering that he has a portrait, a voice, I'm going to assume that he's pretty important, at least in this storyline. I just don't know if it's going to be important in future at all or no.
どう？この学園の感想は？
はい。とても良いところですね。設備も充実していますし、学業に励むための素晴らしい環境だと思います。
Well, that's the way that she's being polite and speaking about as to how she feels, but I don't know if that's necessarily the answer he's looking for. Because why bother asking as to what you feel of the school, unless he's just trying to get a better idea as to, well, she's fresh coming to the school, so let's get her impressions. But I'm not too sure.
なるほど、そうきたか。
Okay, so that wasn't what he was looking for.
いやー、学園生活の方はどうかと思ってね。見たところ、あまり楽しんではいないようだが。
Okay, so far I'm finding this gentleman to be very observant. And I think of that for two reasons. One, just this conversation he's having, just saying, oh, you don't seem to be letting loose or having fun. Basically, he's reading into her body language and how she responds to things. But the second time, another reason why I'm saying that he's observant is because when we were first introduced to him, he was lying on the top of a building on a roof, looking down, like it looked like he was kicking back, relaxing, but I think it's probably more than that. He knew who she was. How? I'm guessing that he was told that there was a new student coming in, and just because it's out of season, I guess, for transfers coming in, obviously he would be told because he's student council president. But just be able to see that. And then he knows the difference between a hawk and a falcon. Well, I'm sure other people probably know that too, but he just seems to be the very, very observant type.
まだ慣れてなくてうまくいかないこともありますけど、でも私頑張りますから。
はあ、そんなことをするためにここに来たの？
What an interesting question.
いやあ、お前って真面目だな。たまには手抜いたりしないわけ。
As if she'd ever do that. Oh, she doesn't know how to deal
俺っ
with
て
him.
さ、一応生徒会長なんだよな。
Yeah, I know. That's part I still can't believe. How the hell did you become student council president? Secondly, how the heck have you kept being student council president, considering that you're not doing your work and Jill and Hans have to find you all the time?
どう？生徒会。割と楽よ。
I think the only reason why it's damn easy because, well, you have everybody else do things for you and you just slack off.
勧誘ですか？
俺たちと一緒に青春の汗を流さないか。
You're starting to tick her off.
あれ、外したか。
この人って生徒会長なんですから偉い人なんですよね。
Yeah, I'd be thinking that he'd be some sort of responsible person considering his student council president, but he seems to be totally the opposite, at least at first glance.
でも、むしろ全く信用できない感じが。
I don't know why I feel so amused by that comment. It's like, I couldn't trust him so much as a 10 mira coin.
ああ、そういやミリアが授業に出ろってうるさかったな。今度はどうやってごまかすっかな。ミリアがカンカンに怒りそうなやつ。
なんだかやっぱり信用できない。
I still have an impression though with Lecter, don't judge a book by its cover. And again, I guess the reason why I'm sort of thinking that too is because, yes, he seems so aloof. He seems like I'm still wondering as to how the heck is he remain student council president and how I became student council president and all that. But considering as to how observant this guy is and just what questions he asks and everything else, I just feel I can't take him at face value. I have to look a little deeper. The other thing that came to mind as well is the thought that popped in my head as well is like, is he, I don't know, somebody that is not naturally a student or like hiding something? The way that Chloe's hiding that she is a princess, which I'm going to assume that she is. Well, yeah, she is. I'm just wondering with him if he's hiding something too. And that's another reason why he has to play it off with this sort of persona.
私もう寮に戻らないと。
And she doesn't want anything to do with him right now.
このアングルで立つと見える。
He wants you to lay down and just take back it easy.
失礼します。
Oh, and he got her really upset.
そっちは男子寮。
He just likes watching people get to react to things.
やれやれ。世話が焼けるやつだな。
All right. Several days later, after classes. Oh, student council room.
生徒会。学園の生徒たちによる自主的な運営組織。学園の風紀秩序や生徒の諸活動について取りまとめ、自主的な権限と責任を持つ。そして、生徒会の最重要任務は、創作である。
Yeah. I find it's funny with the comment saying an autonomous body run by students for students. It sort of reminds me of Hatsupo Boyfriend, if you ever played that. It's, I guess it's a joke visual novel, for lack of a better idea or term, where you're a girl in the midst of a school that is run by students for students. It's Saint Pigeonation. That's the first thing that popped in my head when I read the autonomous body run by students for students.
ここにもいない。
Yeah, they're looking for Lecter again.
くそー、あの極悪生徒会長め。今度は絶対裏を書いて生徒会室に戻ってると思ったのに。
レクターさん、毎回逃げ方が巧妙になってるよな。
He seems to be really good at playing hide and seek.
校舎は探したし、寮も一通り回ったし、あとは中庭の茂みくらいか。
Hey Hans, I'll give you an idea. Look up. Usually sitting on top of the roofs, just kicking back, relaxing, and being with birds.
行くわよ、ハンス。なんとしてもとっ捕まえて溜まってる仕事をさせるのよ。
I wish you luck on that endeavor.
おう。
Oh, Kloe.
あれ、クローゼ？こんなとこで何してるの？
Can't people just relax? You know, sitting on park benches.
ジルさんとハンス君。はい、少し空き時間なので。
それって授業の予習か？
うわー、すごいわね。
I don't see any classwork though with her, unless it's being held in her hands or something, but even then I don't see that either.
さすが超難関の編入試験を突破しただけのことはあるわ。別にそういう意味では。
Oh gosh, I hope nobody's working like every hour of waking every hour of the day.
あ、そうだ。ねえ、クローゼ、レクター先輩見なかった？レクター先輩ですか？
Oh, that brought up bad memories.
もしかして、あの人に何かされたとか？
No, but he said some things that I don't think Kloe really appreciated.
いえ。
He didn't really do anything. He just said things.
大したことではないので。
Oh, don't give them the wrong impression.
申し訳ありません。またうちの生徒会長がご迷惑をおかけしまして。
本当になんとお詫びしてよいのやら。
Guys, just relax. Nothing happened.
以後、このようなことがなきよう、徹底いたしますので。
どうかこの件に関しましては、ご容赦のほど。私そういうつもりじゃ。
Again, there's some stuff sad. He riled her up a little bit, I think, just to see what her response was. Nothing physical happened, though.
Yeah. 本当に大したことではないんです。そうなの？はい。
Oops. Sorry, Jill.
ほんの少しからかわれた程度です。
Now, was it really teasing? I'm just thinking back as their conversation. I don't think it was teasing per se. It was just trying to broaden her horizons a little bit, or just trying to get her to think a little bit more, and just trying to stimulate her thinking a bit, but I don't think she really appreciated it.
はあ、びっくりした。今一瞬目の前が暗くなっちゃったわ。
まったくだ。脊髄反射で謝っちまったぜ。はあ。
Thank God, yes. Yeah, they do have their hands full with Lecter.
レクター先輩ってそんなに問題を起こす人なんですか？
No, he's more like a prankster, I guess. Sort of. But not really.
ああ。問題を起こすっていうか、あの性格がすでに問題なのよ。
Okay, Jill, I think that's a little much. I don't think he's a walking nightmare straight from Gehenna. He has certain ways of doing things. He likes making people move around and so on and so forth. And I think he finds it amusing. But at the end of the day, I think he's more of an observing type and just trying to find out information and just see how people respond. And I think just trying to spur them to think a little bit more.
この数週間だけでも逃亡すること数知れず。
Well, it's him just joshing with you guys, I think.
おまけに方々に迷惑かけて回ってるの。あちこちから来る苦情の対応だけでも大変で大変で。
Oh. He just really likes bothering you guys.
可及的速やかに拘束すべしが生徒会の基本方針なんだ。
Again, Soul just makes me wonder as to why the heck he wanted to become the council president, though. That doesn't... I think he would be doing a good job if he dropped a lot of the pretense and just actually work on things, but I don't think that's his style. I just have this feeling that he's exceptionally smart and that he's just very, very observant.
もはや生徒会じゃない気もするけどな。
Yeah, probably just the way that he works and everything else is much different than everybody else's, and I think at times so he just likes to make you guys dance to his tune.
そうなんですか。クローゼどうかしたの？いえ、なんでもないんです。あ、そういえばレクター先輩なら先ほどクラブハウスの屋根の上で寝てらしたみたいですけど。
Now he's giving the idea, it's like, hey, have you checked the roofs? Let's go up there.
え、それ本当？
屋根の上か。そいつは気づかなかったぜ。
Hence I said earlier, look up.
クローゼ、よく見つけたな。オンに切るぜ。
あ、はあ。本当はジークが見つけたんですけど。
I'm sure it was Seek that noticed.
ハンス、今度こそあれを捕らえるわよ。
おうよ。
ありがとね、クローゼ。助かっちゃったわ。
じゃあまたな。
あ、はい。
Am I going to be able to move?
レクター先輩。
Again, I don't think he's necessarily like that. It's just personality that he plays.
やっぱりいい加減な人みたいですね。
Again, I still think he's very responsible. Just doesn't like to show it that often.
でも私に尋ねましたよね。
Is making you think a little bit more?
君はそんなことをするためにここに来たの？
I wonder something. Does he know who she actually is? If I think of it that way, then his question takes on a whole new meaning. Oh, there he is. He's so happy with himself. Oh, gosh.
いた!
Wait, what? Where did he go? Oh gosh, he's not like a superhuman, like he's not like one of the enforcers or something like that, and he's able to jump off of buildings and not get hurt and all that other jazz, is he?
いない。
まではここにいたわよ。
Yeah, but where the hell did he go?
どうやって逃げたんだ？
Uh-huh.
どこに行きやがった！
That's a million mirror question. Oh, do you see him? No, that's Kloe. Uh-huh.
そうだ、クローゼに聞いてみよっか。
Well, yes, you could do that, or you can try to look a little bit more on your own.
ああ、いいかもしれないな。
I'm just surprised we didn't see any part of Lecter moving away, like show us to where he wandered off to. It's just, poof, he's gone.
さっきもレクター先輩の居場所を見破ったくらいだし、
Mm-hmm.
頭脳明晰なクローゼなら戦力になるんじゃないか？
よし、ちょっと行ってみましょ
う。クローゼ。
Our favorite person, our buddy, our pal. Can you help us because we can't find Lecter again?
ジルさん、ハンス君。もしかして屋根の上にはいませんでした？
Okay, picture this. We saw him on the roof. We were going to go get him, and then when we get closer, poof, he disappeared.
いや、見つかったは見つかったんだけど、一瞬目を離した隙に逃げられたのよ。
おかしいよな。あんな屋根の上で逃げ場なんてどこにもなかったはずなんだが。
So you think, but honestly, we've seen some enforcers do just that.
はあ、屋根の上でですか。それで、クローゼ、やつの居場所に心当たりとかない？
どんな些細なことでもいいんだ。頼む。思い出したら教えてくれ。
あ、はあ。
Well, I don't think we've seen him, have we? No.
本当にお困りみたいですね。
Mm-hmm.
じゃ
Uh,
あ、
what's your idea?
クローゼ、居場所を知ってるの？私じゃなくって。
Oh, Sieg. Now, do we really want to call out Sieg and talk to him? Because I'm concerned they'll think of her as even more weird than what they do right now. Especially because A, she has a hawk friend, and B, well, not a hawk, a falcon friend. And yeah, and B, well, she talks to her falcon friend. They're not, I don't think they're necessarily going to go for it. They're going to be totally creeped out. They're going to start backing up and saying, yeah. Now, I know that they are friends later on, but I don't know if this is the start of where she really starts opening up to them and they become friends.
ちょっとジークに聞いてみますね。ジーク！
Hey, Sieg! Best bird ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, start backing away, folks.
白いハヤブサ？
No, he's a pal.
クローゼのペットなのか？
No, falcons are not pets. They're friends, though.
いえ、ジークは友人のようなものです。そうなんだ。
Yeah, here we go. Oh my, I can just see Jill now. Oh my gosh, this girl is weird.
ジーク、レクター先輩見なかった？ほら、さっき屋根の上で寝ていただらしのない人。
Slovenly boy. Oh gosh.
え？見失っちゃったの？いいよ、ジーク。気にしないで。ごめんね。ありがとう。
You know how they had that kitty book that we saw in Zeiss about talking to kitties for dummies? We need one for talking talking to Falcons for Dummies, and that way we can try to figure it out. We can just ourselves translate us what Sig is trying to say without Kloe always turning up being interpreter. Oh, that's so cute. Hi, Sig. I'll feed you some special stuff later.
ジークでも捕捉できないなんてよほど素早い人ですね。
Well, either A, he's fast, which is this is certainly possible. The other thing is that he went into an area that he can't see through, like inside a building or something.
いや、それよりもハヤブサと話せる方が驚きだ。
Yeah. Are they going to get, they're going to say, oh my gosh, you're a weird girl now? Or are they going to go beyond that?
まったくよね。クローゼって本当に謎の編入生だわ。
Okay, that went better than expected.
え
Well, not everybody can talk to Falcons.
ああ、別に悪い意味じゃなくって。ただ、すごいなと思って。
Again, that went definitely better than expected.
なあ、確かに特殊能力だぜ。でも、肝心のレクター先輩が見つからないんじゃな。
Well, just gave us an idea, and actually there's a thought that came to mind as well. It would be interesting, although I don't know if it's going to happen in this game. Please don't answer it if it is or not. I'll find it on my own. But a moon door or another type of door which showcases how Sieg first became friends with Kloe and how they became friends, how she started to understand what Sieg was telling her and vice versa. I would love to see that.
そうですね。ジークに見えないのなら屋内にいるんじゃないでしょうか。
That's my thought as well, that he's inside a building somewhere.
おそらくこの時間帯に人気のない場所。なるほど。それならだいぶ絞り込めるわね。
Well, sort of it does. So there's the clubhouse, there's the classrooms, there's the auditorium, there's the old schoolhouse. Well, no, I don't know if they let people in the old schoolhouse. And the dorms, like the boys and the girls. I don't think you'd go into the girls' one, probably the boys' one.
まず空っぽの教
Yeah,
室
oh, the
に
classrooms, yeah.
寮や講堂、あとは旧校舎。
That's a lot, still a lot of places to check.
それでも結構広いぞ。
私も手伝いましょうか。
Kloe joins the team for Operation Find Lecter.
いいの？クローゼ、何か用事があるんじゃ。
Well, it just means more bonding time, that's all.
いえ、クラブ見学をしようかと思っていただけなので。
クローゼに頼むのは少し悪い気もするが、手伝ってくれるなら大助かりだぜ。
むしろこっちから頼み込みたいくらいよ。クローゼ、本当にいいの？
I don't think it's a matter of forcing, and I think she's probably going to want to help. Because, well, just to, try to be polite and everything.
はい、大丈夫です。やった！それじゃあ、3人で探しに行くとしましょう。今度こそ、あの首に縄をつけてやるわ。
The first is being able to find him. Hopefully we can. Thank you for watching the video today. I do appreciate it. If you can, leave a like and subscribe, as it does always help. Oh, and hit that bell icon too, so that way you're aware of any new videos that drop or when I'm going live with the stream. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!